An unlawful gathering. This is an unlawful gathering. The truth is out there. The truth is out there.
This is the underground. This is new media. This is the underground. This is new media.
Ranger fans, remember what's the critical thinking hangar. Ranger fans, remember what's the critical thinking hangar.
And now here is the starting lineup for the New York Rangers. And now here is the starting lineup for the New York Rangers.
This is New York Rangers hockey. 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 This is New York hockey.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Blueshirt Underground Show. Today is Monday. It is March the 28th, and it's Monday night, Eddie, and you know what that means. Take it away.
First, I'd like to welcome Sean Stein to the podcast, the broadcast, a fellow podcaster himself and a tremendous host along with Rock. Two guys, one cup. Now, the dreaded 2-goal lead. Can the Rangers ever hold this lead? No, it's agita time and time. But wait a minute. The Rangers pull out another miracle, another comeback. They said it couldn't happen, but it happens every fucking night. The Rangers come back and find the magic and avoid the tragic. Me and Jim have seen more live games than Jim Ramsey in the last week and a half. Congratulations to Rama on his 2,500th game, right? I think that's
2,500 games
for the Rama. The Rangers continue to win, to be the par excellence of the Metropolitan Division, and let's hope it still continues. The magic is back. New York Rangers hockey. Now over to Jim Schmieder.
Good evening, everybody. Yes, Jim Ramsey, the only trainer in the NHL who gets a standing ovation on opening night.
He does a wonderful job.
The fans love him,
and he doesn't count against the salary cap like Benoit Allaire either. Two of the most valuable off-ice Rangers, I believe, other than the head coach. And maybe Chris Drury, who is now, his stock has risen amongst the Ranger faithful. Maybe I was premature in saying scared and stupid. But then again, it wouldn't be the first time I was premature.
Could he win Executive of the Year?
Absolutely not. The Rangers will be bounced in the first round, and we'll all hate him. No, listen. God bless him. God bless the meek and the stupid. And I don't know if he's so stupid. I think what he did was fantastic. Not have had time to rest, because that last show, Jim, which was one of our most popular shows, by the way.
Yep.
The views were off the fucking charts. I got to say, I was on fumes on that show. But now that I've had time to recuperate, I can't wait to hear your recap of your Ranger experience. Apparently, the Rangers should only be viewed by Jim because they play much better when he goes than when I go. So we'll get into that. We'll talk about this. What's this?
So
Billy Smith punch somebody?
It was what's that?
Didn't Bill Smith slap somebody at the Oscars? Oh, Will Smith. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So we last left you guys last Monday night, and in the days that preceded, the Rangers played one of their worst games of the season and one of their best games, if not their best game of the season. That 7-4 loss to the Devils, which I think just disgusted everyone. I mean, that was just horrible. After jumping out to, as Eddie said, the dreaded 2-goal lead. And then it all just went horribly wrong in the second period.
Against Shesterkin.
Shot, score. Fading.
You're right, Jim.
I mean, the Rangers got off to a beautiful start in that game. Took a 2-0 lead in complete control. And a goal from Zibanejad. You got a goal from Adam Fox. Going to the end of the first period, 2-0. And come on, I know what we're all thinking it now with Igor and Net. We're all thinking the same thing. 2 is enough.
Right.
Get me what was that old phrase with Hank? Get me 2 goals and I got this, or 3 goals and I got it. Give me 2 goals and I got this. It just says it in Russian. We're thinking, oh, we're gonna coast. Well, they coasted, all right.
They coasted to a quick channel change.
They coasted right into an iceberg.
No, that game, I don't even want to talk about that game, Jim. I'm glad you brought it up so we could remember our humble beginnings or a little misstep. But frankly, just forget. I know it hurt because we lost to the Devils, but I like you didn't even do a post game for that.
Right.
And just to follow me, so how are you going to talk about that shit?
Yeah, I mean, when they lose, it's not that I don't want to do recaps for our Patreon group, but when they lose and I got something to be mad about, and it's got to be genuine anger. I can't just muster up being angry. They got their asses handed to them, and they got what they deserved. I mean, what else am I going to say? They lost 7-4. But I did want to just briefly touch on that game, just to say that Rangers had four new bodies in the lineup that night, and I definitely think there was a sense of unfamiliarity. Everybody was in the lineup that night, and you got 4 guys out of 18 that. Vetrano had played a game or 2, but you got 4 guys out of 18 that are brand new to everything. So, that game was a discombobulated shit show after the first period. All right, no problem. But now, then you got Friday night, you got Pittsburgh coming in. So, of course, now I'm like, oh Christ, don't let this team be hitting the skids. We got Pittsburgh coming in. They put the clamps down at the viewing party. I don't want to go. I haven't been to a game in 2 years. I don't want to see them lose. I don't want to. Come on, no problem. Now let me tell you a very quick story.
Go ahead.
So, Jen and I drove in, took the train from Jersey City. And we get into the city. We get off the train. We come out of PATH train lets you out on 30, up on was it 6th Avenue, I guess. So we walk down the block and we're walking across. We're walking down 7th Avenue, over by where Modell's used to be. R.I.P. And this guy comes walking towards us in a Rangers jersey, and he goes, "Hey." He goes, "You're Jim." And I go, "Yes, I am." He's like,
Ron Greshner?
He goes, I'm a big fan of your show. He
What?
says, "Nice to meet you." He says, "I watch your show all the time." He goes, "I think you guys are great." Henry Indictor is his name. He goes by Hank. He's all over Facebook. I've seen him, and he's on Twitter. I just don't remember his Twitter handle. We talked for a couple minutes. Very nice guy. Jen just looks at me and goes, "Holy shit, I can't believe you just got recognized on the streets of New York City." And I'm not going to lie to you. You feel, I was walking around about 10 feet tall for a while. But then you go to the Molly Wee and they charge you $10 for a beer just like everybody else, and it goes away.
I know. Yeah.
It goes away.
It's funny because my wife said, "I wonder if Jim will get recognized." Because
There you go.
I get recognized when I go down there. Like 14 people come up to me, maybe 1 or 2, but it makes you feel really good, and it's also kind of weird because it's weird because you don't know this person, but they know you. It's kind of weird.
Hey, he said hello,
Well, that's
and
nice.
as long as he likes the show,
That's
all.
right.
If he just said, You and that other fucking buffoon. I can't stand either one of you.
You guys suck.
Then I'd have been like, well, thanks for listening.
Yeah.
And and then yesterday morning I had to run the shop right. And I was coming down one of the aisles and I come around a corner and there's a guy wearing one of those Henrik Lundqvist hats with the crown on it, his own brand with the 30. The hats, the logo.
I don't think I've seen those.
It was Henrik Lundqvist's own
Henrik Lundqvist brand, right?
Right. And he's got a Rangers t-shirt on. And I come around and I'm like face to face with him as I come around the corner. I said, "Oh, I like your hat and I like your shirt." And I had my Rangers sweatshirt on. And he says, "Oh yeah." He says, "Great game the other night." I go, "Yeah." I said, "I was there. It was phenomenal." And he looks at me. He goes, "You look familiar." I'm like, "Oh man, again?" Wow. And he goes, then he goes, "Aren't you Jen's boyfriend?"
Oh, okay.
I said, "Yes, I am." He goes, "Oh, I work with her." So he's a guy that works in her department at the hospital. And so I came home. I told her the story. She goes, "Oh, Christ, what'd you get? Now, did you get recognized at ShopRite?" I said, "Yeah, but only because of you."
Does she know that he's a Ranger fan?
Yes. Oh. Yeah, she's worked with him for years. With her schedule, she doesn't see him quite as much as she used to, but she's like, "Oh my God, you ran into Pete." So, Pete, if you happen to be watching, Jen's boyfriend is a very solid title. I can live with that title for a long time.
Yep. Brian Carr does the same thing.
And then I'm walking around Sam's Club yesterday. I went Sam's Club.
All right. We have to go through every sighting of Jim now. All of a sudden,
this had nothing to do with me. Will you just let me finish my fucking story?
I'm kidding. Sorry.
And this older guy, I come around, I'm in the frozen foods, and this guy just points at my shirt and goes, "Don't forget 5:00 today." I'm like, "No, I know 5:00." He goes, "I know it's only Buffalo, but we still got to win the game." I'm like, "Yeah."
Wow, guys.
And I guess the point I was trying to make is that it just seems like now Ranger fans are out. We're loud and proud, man.
Well, you couldn't find that last year.
We are back out of the closet. We are here. We have no fear. Get used to it. I mean, it just seems like now everywhere I go, no matter where it seems to be, I'm and obviously New York City, that doesn't count, but it seems like everywhere I go out and about here now,
everybody's
I'm running into the Ranger fans again. We're back at it. We're out of the closet again. I love it.
When you win, people love you. This is what the
Everybody
city will
loves
show you. I mean, the Yankees are, they won't spend any money. The Mets, they'll spend all the money in the world, but until I see it actually transpire onto the baseball field, right. And the Jets, I don't care how many offensive linemen get, they get to still be 5-12. Sorry, Sean. But, and the Giants, the Daniel Jones era, I don't know about that. And so right now, the Islanders are out of the playoffs. The Devils are going to be out of playoffs. We're the only show in town. We're the only winners. Right. We should be loud. We should be reminding each other for the start times of the game.
Right. It was just great. I mean, we're a good hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes from the city. And it was just great to run into Ranger fans on all my stops yesterday. So,
yeah.
But, we got to see. So after ran into Hank in the city there, and then I got to see my friend Chris, who works for MSG Network.
Oh yeah. So what happened? Did you ask him the question, the burning question? Remind the people what your burning question.
I did.
And I bet you softened. You softened.
No. I didn't soften.
Oh, really?
Oh, I asked the question, but I got the answer I expected. But I said to Jen, I just had to voice this to somebody that works at the network because we are out here talking to the fans. And we know how the fans feel. And that's what I told them. Well, the funny part is that I'm waiting for him to come out and meet us. We're down on
you have security with him?
Behind the garden. And John Giannone walks right by us. Right. I didn't say anything to him. And then my friend Chris comes out from the other direction, and Giannone stops and he's talking to him. And I guess Chris said to him, "Oh, I'm meeting a friend out here." And then we came walking over, and Giannone goes, "Oh, I guess this is your friend," and I completely blew off Giannone.
Good,
I
good.
just started talking. Jen did say hello to Giannone, but I just completely blew him off and started talking to Chris. And we're talking for a few minutes. I said, "Chris,
Now, what
I
did
said,
your friend Chris do again there?
He's one of I don't know if he's the head producer or if he's one of the producers, but he produces Ranger broadcasts."
Was he I'll ask this question after you tell the story.
And we talked for a few minutes, kind of catching up because I hadn't seen him in a long time. And I busted his balls a little bit about his allegiances in hockey because he did not grow up a Ranger fan. And I said, "Can I just ask you a question?" He's like, "Of course." I said, "Why does Joe Micheletti hate the Rangers?" And he just rolls his eyes at me. He goes, "Joe Micheletti does not hate the Rangers." I'm like, "Chris," why? I said, "I'm a Ranger fan. You know this." I said, "You know how I feel about this team." I said, "I watch every game." I said, "You don't hear it because you're working." I said, "But I hear what this man says. I hear the tone in his voice." I said, "This man does not like the Rangers." "Oh, yes, he does." And he goes, "Wait," and this is the best part, and this is why I love Jen so much. I said, "He does hate the Rangers." And he goes, "No, he doesn't hate the Rangers. He's just not a homer like Sam." And Jen goes, "Sam is not a homer."
Oh,
She says it right to him. And I'm like, "You tell him, man."
Jen.
She goes, "Sam is not a homer." And he goes, "Well, Sam said Sam can, Sam said you could be Sam will be critical of the Rangers, but they're his Rangers." I'm like, but they are not homers. I'm like, "Chris, you grew up a Bruins fan." I'm like, those are homers. Listen, their announcers are homers.
Jack Edwards.
Right. So anyway, I got the
All right, you posed the question. You were a man. You stepped up. You did what you had to do.
Of course.
Was this guy responsible for that?
We are the voice of the fans.
But I thought maybe in a face-to-face confrontation, you might soften a bit and couch it some other way.
Nah.
All right, I'm very proud of you.
So yeah, then we he had to go. So then we went over to Molly Wee, saw Mike Smith, saw Dance and Larry, had a few beers, had a little something to eat, and then headed into the game. Watched warm-ups. I got a couple of videos to show you guys at some point tonight that Jen took, and it was a good time. I mean, obviously, they scored 3 goals in the first 4 minutes, 8 minutes.
Oh, that was a beautiful game.
Every time I just got done singing the goal song and sat back down, it was time to jump right back up. I loved it.
Absolute domination. Now, I know the Gwynns were Malkinless, but you played
We were
with
Kakoless.
All right, we were well, I wouldn't equate Kako to Evgeny Malkin, but we certainly. Hey, listen, you play with the cards you dealt. They basically beat them like a bad dog. For you Peter lovers, I'll change it to bad players, whatever. They beat them like a drum, and I'm so glad they shut up those Penguin fans. They shut down Sidney Crosby, who was whining and crying the whole game. Go ahead, Jim.
There were quite a few Penguins fans at the game. Some of them sitting. We had a few in front of us and a few behind us. And I got to see Mike Harmon. He met us at the Molly Wee, and I met him.
Mike Harmon.
Great Mike Harmon. We didn't sit together. We had these 3 drunken kids in between us. So
was the Molly Wee jammed? Was it packed?
What's that?
Was it packed, the Molly Wee?
When we got there, no. But by the time we left, yes. It was time to go because it was just too many people. And Larry was late. Let me tell you something about Mike Smith. We all know Mike Smith. He's at our viewing parties. Mike Smith's like the mayor of the Molly Wee.
Oh, he is.
Oh, he just sits at the corner, and everybody that comes in knows Mike Smith. He talks to everybody. Everybody knows Mike.
Wow, the mayor.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah. So, yeah, we got to hang out with him for a while, and then Mike came. We walked around and hit a few of the stores at MSG, walked around a little bit in there, and then went in, got to our seats, and watched warm-ups.
What are you getting? Text from your new producer buddy?
No.
Did you
Getting a phone call.
was your friend the producer? Was his name Chris again?
Yes.
Was he responsible for that stupid Adam Fox cam last night? Oh, that spotlight was such shit last
You
night.
didn't like watching Adam Fox go to the bench 3 times?
Or just standing in his own zone for minutes on end. What a
But
waste.
you noticed the camera wasn't on him when Okposo dusted him for a goal, right?
I
They missed
know,
that one.
yeah. That's, man.
Bill
I mean,
Chadwick is here, ladies and gentlemen. Dip.
I liked all the facts and the figures about Fox that they were spotlighting and highlighting, but that camera was a complete waste, splitting that screen, wasting. I want to watch the action. I don't want to watch Adam Fox. When the puck comes in near his way, I just want to see it on a full screen. I can analyze. I don't need a full close-up. I don't have to see his birthmarks or his no chin or whatever. I don't need to see Lady Elaine that close.
Lady Elaine. And great game. Rangers held the Penguins to only 21 shots on goal.
I did not see that coming.
It was they did a great job on him. Did a great job.
It was fantastic.
Lafreniere, Kreider, Frankie V.
Frankie,
No
the
stop
rifle.
at Frankie V. Then
And
Kreider again.
Oh,
And
that
then
was
Andrew
super.
Kopp.
Hey, Kappa. Yeah. I mean, like the Carolina win, which I was at, was come on, we stole one. Costa's still laughing that we won that game. I saw him Friday night. He's like, he was still laughing that we stole that game from Carolina. But the game before that, Tampa Bay was a big win. And I felt that this Pittsburgh game was going to be a good challenge to the Rangers to see where they are in, as far as some of the top teams in the division and in the conference.
Right.
And they railroaded them. And Tristan Jarry looked like shit. He gets replaced by Casey Smith, who gets concussed and has to come out of the game. Now we got to go see Tristan Jarry again.
Right.
And the Rangers just burnt them. I was so happy. I don't care, Malcolm List, whatever. Run it up, Magic Chris Kreider, baby. So now I'm getting a lot of messages, Jim. Ranger fans think they got a chance at the cup. I try to kind of quell it. I said, but then I say, hey, why not? Why not us, kids?
Why not us, right? I don't know.
That's basically, why not us? Stranger things have been known to happen. So they play that game, right? Well, Evan Stamps is saying tomorrow is feeling like an ambush. The Pens they railroaded some team last night. With Malkin, he got the hat trick, I think.
11-2.
11-2. Who'd they beat? Detroit. I think Detroit has mailed it in for the season. They're ready to go home.
Well, let's hope so, because we get Detroit after Pittsburgh.
Yes. Watch, Mark Stoll gets a 3-goal game against us.
Right.
But
his homecoming.
Yep, you're right. This game against Pittsburgh will be another game, another tester. But we're ready. I mean, let's talk about, before we review any more games, let's talk about the additions. What have you seen with the 2 to 3 game evals, Jim? And I'll tell you what I saw.
Well, I guess my first question was, Justin Braun played the Devils game and hasn't played since.
Yes, Lloyd Braun is.
Well, I just think it's weird. You go out and get a guy that plays 20 minutes a night. You get a guy that can eat up a lot of minutes and, pretty steady defenseman, and he hasn't played. Nemeth played the Penguins game and he played the Buffalo game last night. So I don't really have much to say about Braun because the only game he played was the 7-4 debacle. Dr. B is here.
Great Dr. B. Love this guy. He's number one.
That's right. Kopp has played well. He was a little shaky when he stepped in for Strome last night, and of course, we don't know what's going on with Strome other than he's got either an upper or a lower body injury because you can only have one or the other. And Gallant, of course, says, well, it's not too serious, which usually means 3 weeks. So, but I mean, I like what I've seen from Kopp. The guy that I really like, Vetrano, obviously, I like what I've seen from him too. And for all the analytic nerds who were going absolutely apeshit about Vetrano being on the first line, how do you like him now? How do you like him now? I'll tell you who I really like out of these guys is Tyler Mott. I like what he brings. I was watching him quite a bit Friday night. I like what he does on the penalty kill. He's got good speed. He creates some chances. I hope he's not I hope he doesn't wind up just being a rental. He's kind of won me over in just a couple of games. I like what I've seen from him.
I asked this to you and the audience at home, and the 228 people in this chat room. Excuse me. Out of all, let's say, we'll even throw Braun in there. Out of the 4 guys, who would you like? You kind of answered one of them. Like to see re-sign with the Rangers.
Well, I don't remember. I know Kopp is a rental. I know Mott is a rental. Is Vetrano a rental? Vetrano has another year on his deal, doesn't he?
Does he? Because if he does,
by the time
my wife might get a shirt of Frankie the Rifle Vetrano. Go to capgeek.com or one of those things.
Let's see. Active contract. No, Vetrano is a UFA next year.
Okay. They're all rentals. Brian, it's hard. Okay. So give them to me.
All rentals. Okay. Keep them all.
Wow.
Aren't they all upgrades?
Yes.
Over some of the guys we have?
Well,
I mean, is Tyler Mott not an upgrade over Johnny? We got him for 2 years, Brodzinski?
Well, I don't know about that. Johnny B's been playing pretty good. Maybe over Greg McKegley.
Okay.
2.0. That's kind of run its course, I would think. So here's my thing.
Okay.
Too early to say, Kevin Cosmos says. Okay.
Okay. Fair. That's fair. That's fair enough too. But
let me tell you what. Let me chime in here. Unless you want to tell me your order. Tell me your order. I don't want to step on you.
Order of importance? Well, I mean, I guess right now it's Vetrano, Mott, and Kopp. And that's not really a knock on Kopp, but I feel like the first 2 guys have been more noticeable. And Braun, I don't know if they're just kind of coasting with Braun until the playoffs get here. Because he does have the playoff experience. He is the wily veteran.
Right.
But so, maybe they're just holding back on his minutes.
The coaches put it this way. He wants to go into the playoffs. Gallant wants to go in with 27, 28, the best guys. He wants depth. What?
I'm just thinking the Rangers are going to look like the Mets in mid-September when there's like 50 guys in the dugout, 30 of them you never heard of.
He wants depth. Hey, one guy goes down. He wants another capable guy going in. Now, there's a lot of debate in Rangerland. I know everybody hates Patrick Nemeth, but guys, he's like Dryden Hunt. He ain't going nowhere. The coach likes him. He's going to play him. Do I see him as a giant detriment? No. Do I see him as an asset? No. So here's the deal. My first thing, and it's been mentioned in the chat room, which I can't believe we're sympathetic. I'm simpatico with these crazies in here. That Andrew Kopp, to me, you got to get him back. And I'll tell you why. I'm done with Ryan Strome. I know
Wow.
I haven't seen enough yet, but I'm done with him.
I haven't seen enough.
When I seen enough, then he's just so wildly inconsistent. And it looks like Kopp could play that second line until the Rangers can get a bona fide second line center in there. He could fill the gap. Now they have Strome on the wing till he got hurt last night. So I mean, I think it vastly improved the line tremendously. Just getting Strome and not putting some, But when Kakko gets back, I guess there's your right wing. I think Kopp has been a great addition. He's winning faceoffs. He's gotten some points. He looks like he fits in. I like the whole Trouba vibe now the team's getting.
Yeah,
everybody knows Trouba.
It's the Trouba tribe.
Yeah, it's the Trouba tribe. I mean,
the Trouba tribe.
Which
I mean, how many more friends of Trouba? I mean, we're gonna get his milkman in here. We're gonna get his mailman. We're gonna get the guy that cuts his hair. It's Trouba's team. Give him the C.
That's what I think it's all pointing towards.
Give him the C.
If you're getting everybody that Jacob Trouba likes, I think you're ready to put the C on him. And he certainly deserves it this year, the way he's played. I mean, there's several players that deserve it. But a guy who...
What? Let me ask you this. This is an off-the-wall question. If you give Jacob Trouba the C, does that influence whether or not you have to keep these guys that are in the Trouba tribe?
In the Trouba tribe?
Can you really give a guy the C and then let his two buddies walk? I mean, this guy used to watch Saturday morning cartoons with Kopp and Vetrano. I mean, they traded Pokemon together. I mean, they went to Chuck E. Cheese. They were in the ball pit.
Ultimately, Jim, it's going to be the players, his friends' choice.
I mean,
are Rangers going to throw bad money after good on these guys to keep them because Trouba's the captain? I don't think so. We have a brilliant GM right now.
But I mean, is it real? Would these guys really be considered? I just thought of something funny that when Rollo mentioned 6 A's, he wanted to see. All I could think of for some reason the other night was, alternate captain, my alternate captain. Well, hey, look, I mean, one of the most famous captain in Ranger history. Didn't we surround him with a couple of, 2-3 of his buds, his hockey brethren?
Mark Pavlik? I mean, Kelly
Kissio, yes.
That's true. That's true.
Look, I got no problem with it. Trouba tribe. By the way, I'm sure one of these websites will be, We Bleed Blue or Blue York or whatever the fuck. They'll be selling Trouba tribe shirts tomorrow because they heard it here. Somebody will mention it on Twitter, and the next thing you know, tonight we're going to give away the first of our Trouba tribe shirts. Get yours for $35.99 plus shipping.
I love the way they talk on that.
That is the way they talk. Like when I created the term Lunsanity.
That's right. Or how about when Steve
gave that one away for free too?
The Frodo from Moto was stolen by Steve Zapay.
There's another one we gave away for free.
We don't forget here. We're going to trademark all this shit one of these days.
Right.
This is what I'm thinking. This is what my dense skull is coming up with, Jim. Strome can't ask for a lot of money. Okay? Because I haven't seen enough, but I'm done with him. He can't get primo money. So now he's got to look over his shoulder because Kopp will sign for less money than Strome is looking for.
There's another one we gave away. Sorry.
Who?
Blueshirt barbecue.
Oh, yes. I think this puts pressure on Strome. If he wants to play with Panarin, and Brian Atart brings up a good point, Panarin loves Strome. But you know what? Panarin will like somebody who's better than Strome centering him. And you know what? Right. He may love him, but, Artemi Panarin is having a really good year. But come on. He's got 16, 17 goals. This guy should be a 30-goal scorer. He doesn't shoot enough. He needs somebody to set him up. And I'm not saying Andrew Kopp is going to be, but I think Andrew Kopp would be a good placeholder at a cheaper price. The Rangers have what, 17 million, 19 million and under the cap next year or something.
Something like that.
Yeah, I mean, they could
Julie.
maybe land somebody. They got some things to sign. They got things to do. But since they didn't go berserkerwitz at the trading deadline, going after the shiny new toys and signing absurd contracts, they've got that money, which was very prudent.
And didn't give away big assets either.
Oh, speaking of big assets, I hate to break the news to you, but Tarmo Ruunanen is no longer a Ranger.
I know. Tarmo Ruunanen.
They're mortgaging the future. They're mortgaging it. I saw enough of Tarmo Ruunanen when I was in Hartford to tell you that he's never going to be anything.
At the time when he came up and played, 4 or 5 games, he was fine. But where would he? I mean, where would you rank him in this defensive pipeline that they've been building? Which is like this defensive pipeline is like the pipeline from Canada that everybody wants turned back on. I forget. I can't even think of the name of it now. But I mean, he's probably like 90th on the team in the defensive pipeline. We've got 100 defensemen ahead of this guy.
Right.
He was never going to play here, so they go get a center for Hartford. God bless.
God bless.
God bless. The Keystone. Thank you. Couldn't think of the name of it for some reason.
So, yeah. I got a little sidetracked with that. So, I think it's a little leverage for Strome. Listen, Artemi, you're not going to – you can't be calling the shots with Ryan Strome. I think Ryan Strome, it's just – I think we've gotten about as much as we could get out of him, and which was wonderful. But it's
absolutely
it's got to end.
He cost us nothing.
Nothing. So
really, it cost us nothing.
We squeezed every little ounce out of him. Now I think the Rangers should, unless he comes in and says, listen, I want to play with Panarin the rest of my career, whatever, and takes a reasonable number. But I think it's good that the Rangers could have, oh, yeah, I forgot about Sammy Blaze, DB Maven. So is everyone.
Right.
I think Chris Drury doesn't remember he traded him for Buchnevich. But
who knows if we'll ever see. I saw a Sammy Blais jersey at the game the other night. I'm like, well, there was $200 well spent. Was you wear that twice when he played?
Oh my God! What a disgrace!
I see.
I mean, Sammy Blais you could hit, but
that's always something I focus on when I go to not focus on, but it's always something I keep an eye out for. I like to see who's got what jerseys are being represented. The guy that wore the Ryan Reeves jersey a couple weeks ago, one of the road games. I'm like, oh, you spent $250 on a Ryan Reeves jersey? I mean, really? Or for a guy that plays 9 minutes a night, doesn't play every night? I mean, come on. Now, so I'm always fascinated when I see weird, off the wall jerseys. A couple of Goodrows. I was surprised. I mean, for a new guy,
he could be well liked.
He's catching on. I did see a Goodrow jersey with the correct number on it to answer Sean McCaff's question.
Good. That's good to see.
The correct number.
I'm not giving
Callahan jerseys still in the arena. Lots of Callahans. Even Ryan Callahan.
He's beloved. No doubt about it.
Even Jen said that. A lot of people still wearing the Ryan Callahan jerseys.
He was the workman. He was the working man's champion there for a while. Yeah, I mean, no doubt about it. Now, I'm not getting all crazy about Filipino because he looked good 2 games in a row, and meanwhile, Lafreniere made him look like a superstar. Wasn't that a great move? Let's give a round of applause to Gallant, which some people who used to have a reputation around Rangers circles is questioning why Gallant has him on the third line, saying, he's a first-line player. Well, what a bonehead move by Gallant. Well, Gallant explained that his natural position is the left wing, Lafreniere, and come on, he's paying dividends. He looked great. He's up to what? Almost 15 goals?
Yep.
Yeah, he does look better, but I'm not promoting him to anything. I don't see. I still don't see it. Sorry, I disagree with some of you. He's on the third line. Keep him on the third line. He looks good on the third line. Keep him on the third line. Don't screw the second and first lines up. Sorry, Charlie. And to talk about the guy, I think you got to keep Cop. Frankie, the rifle, he just shoots. He doesn't think about anything. He's taking, according to Vagistat, he's taking those 1% chance shots and they're going in. You see that one? What is it with Vagistat shitting on all the Rangers now?
He just wants to be like everybody else on that broadcast. Dave Maloney is the only truth teller in that entire broadcast. He will tell you what's good and he'll tell you what's bad. He's the only truth teller. I'm not the biggest Dave Maloney fan in the world either, but he tells it like it is, good or bad.
Let's see, look,
He's the closest thing they have to a real analyst in that entire network.
You're right. He'll tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly.
You know, I have long said this. I want a color guy, not a colored guy, but a color guy, an analyst. I want to learn something from him when I watch him. And that's how I felt, you know, obviously that's how I felt with JD. That's how I felt with even Chadwick back in his day. And that's how I feel with Dave Maloney. I listen to Dave Maloney, I learn things. I see different, you know, he sees things I don't see. And I'm like, okay. That's why I liked Rick Carpinello so much. He always saw something I didn't see. I don't want a guy that just tells me, oh, they work hard, Sam. I don't want that. I know that. Everybody works hard. If you didn't work hard, you wouldn't get to the NHL. It's a dumb statement, and he's got nothing else to say. He contributes nothing to a broadcast, and he hates the Rangers. I'm sorry, Chris. He hates the Rangers. Anyway.
Stemkowski. Don Cardozo is asking about Stemkowski.
I love Stemkowski.
I like Stemmer, but he's got also the mispronunciation of names. It's a fucking craziness.
He is the closest thing we'll ever get again to a Bill Chadwick. That's it. That's all I can tell you.
But he is honest, but he does seem to focus on one thing a little bit too much. I mean, he'll get hooked on a thing. Now, Carp is not the worst. We've had him on this show. I certainly could tell.
The guy's forgotten more about the Rangers than I will ever know.
Right. Stemmer's funny. I mean, you know, but he's a homer. I like that.
If Carp's got one bugaboo, it's probably that he shouldn't hang around on Twitter quite so much because he tends to get a little upset when people don't agree with him.
Oh, okay.
And I think that's part of it. You know what? Nobody covered the Rangers better when he did it. Nobody. You're going to tell me Vince Mercogliano, who just continues to avoid my emails, by the way. So you're going to tell me he's better than Carp. You're going to tell me Steve Zippe was better than Carp.
Oh, God, he's terrible. Zippe. All right. So we're playing Battle of the Network announcers here. You know.
And here comes Telly Savalas for the ABC team.
Fading. And then the supple Suzanne Anton. All right.
Gabe Kaplan on the tug of war with Loretta Swit.
And you know, the thing with to finish up on the Stemkowski thing, he's usually doing the games with Kenny Albert. Now, Kenny Albert is like a savant. He remembers everything, and he's such a gentleman because Stemkowski will be making mistakes after mistakes. Oh, Leslie Treff is the worst. Sorry, Leslie.
That's your girl.
She's been on the show in 10 years, right? My girl. She was just all sunshine and roses, and I hate those people. I mean, God bless you, Leslie. I wish you $1 million.
10 years.
What?
I don't think it's been 10 years. It's probably not long before we stopped on Blog Talk. We've never had her on YouTube's.
No, it's been longer than that. Somebody look that up. With special guest Leslie Treff. All right, so what was I saying? Okay.
Andrew Gross, by the way, was also great when he covered the Rangers.
Yes, he was very good.
And was great on the show. He was, I don't know how many times we had him on.
One time he was picking up his kids from the movies.
What's that?
One time he was dropping his kids off at the movies, and he called.
That's right. Yep. He was a great guest. Good guy.
All right, so let me get back to the Rangers. I like what you said about Tyler Mott. I like his speed. I like him. Is it a necessity to keep him around? Well, now we're seeing less of Ryan Reeves. Now, what do you think about that?
I'm fine with that too. I said 3 weeks ago. Ryan Reeves does not need to play every night. Give me Ryan Reeves when you play the Islanders. Give me Ryan Reeves when you play the Capitals. The teams that are going to try and push the Rangers around, that's when you need Ryan Reeves in the lineup. Do we need Ryan Reeves against the Devils? No. Do we need Ryan Reeves against the Sabres? No.
How about the Penguins?
No.
Okay.
No. You need the speed guys. You need guys that can generate offense.
Okay. Well, we got Kevin Rooney supposedly going to come back within a couple weeks. Kako. There's going to be decisions to be made.
DB, I like Larry Brooks. I like Larry.
I don't mind Larry Brooks.
Larry Brooks doesn't bother me.
He
But
steals from us, but other than that,
he's more of a NHL. He's not Ranger specific. I mean, he covers the Islanders and Devils too, and a lot of NHL stuff. But I mean, no, I got no problem with him either.
2018, she was on 4 years ago. I don't know. I'll have to look through the.
That sounds about right.
No, it's not.
No?
In my mind, she hasn't been on. I'm trying to distance myself from her. Okay.
No, John, no, we can't because Gary Cohen's an Islander fan.
Gary Cohen, the Mets guy?
Yeah.
Huh. All right. So when these guys come back, I mean, I think he's got the Warriors in place. I like Tyler Mott. Again, Justin Braun, can't really tell. I like Andrew Frankie the Rifle. Now I hear he's streaky. I saw that doof, Bill Lindsay. You ever see this guy? Bill Lindsay, remember when he was playing the Panthers like 2 decades ago? He's on the NHL Network. Oh, well, Frankie Petrano's very streaky. He's one of those guys. If he plays on the 3rd or 4th line, he disappears. Well, guess what? He's playing on the 2nd line, so he's not going to disappear for now. What am I worried? Most guys do disappear when they get demoted to the lesser lines. They play less minutes, Bill Lindsay. You dope. Get off my TV, you long-headed gooseneck fuck. Sorry. A little outrage there for Bill Lindsay. I hate anybody who talks bad about the Rangers right now. The Rangers are ruling. They're running over these teams. I mean, they consistently are winning. I don't remember. What was their worst losing streak this year?
I don't think they've lost more than 2 games in a row.
And what did I constantly ask in the last 2 years? Have the Rangers ever had a winning streak? I would ask that.
Oh, you mean Ranger related? What do I ask the most?
No, I would be asking the most, like, what's the Rangers' biggest winning streak this year? Like 3 games? You'd be like, oh, no, it's 4 games that and a tie. An overtime loss.
Right.
We should be proud, and nobody should be talking down to us.
Let's see. They won 4 in a row early in the season. They won 4 in a row again in November. They did lose 3 in a row. 2 were overtime losses. Vancouver, Edmonton, and Calgary when they did the Western Canada swing.
Oh, yeah, that was a shit.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in a row back in December. 7 wins in a row. Since that Western Canada swing, they have not lost more than 2 games in a row.
This is a terrific season. The NHL officers just raise a Ranger flag above it right now because the Rangers they are the surprise of the league. I mean, I'm sure Calgary, they've had a really good season. They've been a surprise. But come on. The New York Rangers are like a phoenix from the ashes, have risen. I didn't think this. Jim didn't think this. Everybody at home didn't think this. Nobody thought this. If you thought this, you're a liar. So no, but I just think that and I like the Rangers. Everybody's all that just the goalie, but you know what? They got one of the top scorers in the league, and he's no faux elite player. He's a real elite player. Unlike the guys we've had that they called elite, a la Rick Nash, even Gaborik to an extent. You've got a 1-2 punch with Zibanejad and Kreider that's just out of this world. I mean, Zibanejad has been on fire. I mean, ever since he slumped early, every game he's piling points up.
Absolutely.
You've got, I think, a really good group of defensemen. You got the best goalie. All you have to do is find some secondary scoring. And listen, as some of the guys mentioned in the chat room, you got Lafreniere has 15 even strength goals. That's 5-on-5 goals, which the Rangers have a problem with.
Desperately need.
They desperately need those goals.
Hey, you want to see a funny video from the game the other night?
Yes.
Jen just sent me this because she had to clip it down.
Now, this is you live at the Pittsburgh game.
Yes.
Let it go.
Who do you think that was saying let it go?
What did the first guy say? Poppin' sucks, let it go?
I said let it go.
I know. They chanted Poppin' sucks, let it go.
Right.
Let it go.
We got the Poppin' sucks going again.
These two goofballs in front of us, right? These two guys, they didn't show up till after it was 3-0. This guy on the right shows up at like a $700 Rangers varsity jacket and has absolutely no clue what's going on with the team. And these two sat here talking about fucking Netflix all night long. I was like, oh my God. And we didn't realize it. We didn't realize it until we went back and watched all these videos that Jen took. She took a lot of video Friday night. And these guys are yammering through the whole thing. We didn't really notice during the game, but we're watching these videos back, and all you hear are these two going on and on about Netflix, and you see the guys on his phone scrolling through movies. I'm like, I want to go back and see these guys again. But what the fuck you doing?
Yeah. No, I mean, this is what people do. These numbnuts. They show at the games. They talk about all kinds of shit.
Right.
They talk about their lives. I don't give a fuck. Watch the game, asshole.
Right.
Get into the fun. Now, you say, well, the Rangers wouldn't have won without Igor. But you know what? The Rangers have Igor. They drafted Igor. Igor made it to camp. Igor won a spot. Igor, last year, Igor very rarely really stole games. He's stolen at least a dozen or more this year. So I don't care. I'm glad we have Igor. And I don't care what the Rangers would be with or without them. They got him, so that's the end of that.
Right. What am I supposed to apologize because they have a great goaltender?
Yeah.
Right here.
Well, they would have a .250 winning percentage if Georgiev was in net.
Right.
I got no confidence. I'm back to no confidence with the guy again.
It's funny. He plays the game of his life against Carolina. And, the mindset of a goaltender, it's crazy because he plays the game of his life against Carolina. Then he's got to come in against the Devils when they're getting shellacked. And he's got to come into this game cold, knowing that he's got to replicate what he did against Carolina or the Rangers have no chance in the game. And then this same guy who plays all world against one of the best teams in the league looked terrible last night. I mean, Buffalo had 17 shots on goal. I don't, he's very odd. Very odd duck.
He's very odd.
He's a very odd duck.
He's an odd duck. I told him maybe he thought he was getting traded. He was playing for that trade.
Yeah. Quite. I think that was a big motivator in that Carolina game. I really do. I said it that night.
I kept saying it during the game that was annoying Carolina fans. I was like, Late run by Georgie for the Vesna. And they were all, shut up. I don't know.
You want to go to the calls?
Yeah, where are we? I feel like I haven't talked enough.
You feel like you haven't talked enough?
I'm trying to think what I had some things to say. I think
okay.
no. I guess I just want to talk about the new guys. I guess we covered it. I mean, we talked about the Adam Fox thing. We haven't talked about the Will Smith thing. Well, let's talk about the Will Smith thing because it's all over sports radio, believe it or not. That's all I want to talk about. So what's your take on it? Because me and you, sometimes we don't have the same take. Is it you? I don't care.
You know, I have a couple of thoughts that are probably best left off public broadcast.
Okay.
You know, where was security?
Come on, security at the thing. When a bunch of actors going to get crazy.
You know what? There was a comedian. Her name is Nikki Glazer. She was on Howard Stern this morning.
Oh, yeah, I heard her.
She made a great point. She said, you know, people ask the questions all the time. How was Jeffrey Epstein or these guys, how were they allowed to get away with this for so long? Because they're enabled. Because nobody cares. I mean, Will Smith gets up, socks Chris Rock in the mouth, goes back and sits down, curses him out on live TV, and then 20 minutes later they give him an award and everybody gives him a standing ovation.
It's a bunch of Hollywood elite bastards.
All right, let me get another Imagine video for Chris Rock.
Well, I think, hey, listen, you're sitting in the front row at one of these award shows, okay, with the bald chick, and you don't think Chris Rock is going to work the front row? You never saw that coming? Or if you did, the whole thing was premeditated. First of all, he laughed at the joke, and then when he saw his wife's reaction, he was like, oh, I guess like a... First of all, he's been emasculated. They said she's telling everybody in the world they have an open marriage.
Right.
And what you call Rock should have said, you shouldn't be slapping me, you should be slapping the guy she's fucking. That's what he should have said, but he didn't. He's a man. He's a gentleman. Well, maybe not a gentleman, but to me, I've always hated Will Smith. I've hated him. I liked him in The Fresh Prince, but when he started I liked him in Independence Day. But after that, he's been box office poison as far as I'm concerned. He's terrible.
You didn't like I Am Legend?
It sucked, that movie. Is that a remake?
Yeah.
Some Charlton Heston movie? No.
The Omega Man, right? I thought that movie was okay.
It sucked.
All right, it sucked.
My opinion, it sucked. Listen,
you know what movie I liked him in? The one where he plays the I can't think of the name of it now. He's in it with a girl, and they play like superheroes that aren't superheroes anymore, or something like that. I don't know.
I know who you're talking about.
Hancock too. Hancock, was that it?
Oh, Hancock? No, I didn't see that.
Was that the movie? Was that the one?
No,
I'm thinking
I think you're thinking about.
Poster says Hancock. Wild Wild West sucked. That was garbage.
That was total trash.
That movie was awful. Eddie and I were fucking at the movies, Siskel and Ebert. Eddie and I are going to start giving thumbs up and thumbs down.
I thought he was in that other movie they rebooted with the DC Comics. The one with the Joker's girlfriend there.
Suicide Squad or something?
Yeah, he was in the original Suicide. They rebooted it. They reinterpreted it. It was much better.
No, I didn't see that.
Sucks.
All right. Well,
and I think Chris Rock is brilliant as a comedian.
Okay.
I don't care about books. Who reads books anymore? Give me an audio book. Fuck it. Wasn't he Ali too?
That was a terrible movie.
Terrible.
That's terrible, Mikey. That's a terrible job in that movie, Mikey.
Same thing with that Jamie Foxx doing Ray. He does an impersonation for 2.5 hours to give him an Oscar. Give me a break. Stay on In Living Color where you belong. Making me laugh with impressions.
I love this. This is like what they used to call that thing on In Living Color, men on film.
Men on film.
This is
Hated
white
it.
men. This is white men on film.
Hated it.
See,
I give it 3 snaps.
this is
You
white
get
men on film.
Get the little hats.
Hated it.
That's a good bit.
It was. All right. Now can we
All
take
right.
calls?
Now we got that out. I had to talk. I got
Or you want to cover the drummer from the Foo Fighters first?
Oh, Taylor Hawkins. Surprised he died of an overdose. That doesn't happen too often.
In Colombia.
In Colombia.
Right.
All right. All right, we'll take some calls.
All right. Joe, what's going on?
How are you?
What's up, boys?
How are you?
Just for the record, I'm with Jim. I love I Am Legend. It's awesome.
Yeah, I like that movie.
It's something about it. It's just, yeah. And Hancock is the movie. That wasn't that great. My favorite Chris Rock is I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker. When he goes in and asks how much the ribs are, and then he asks him for 1 rib. And then he asks him, the guy says, will that be all? He goes, how much for soda? He's 75 cents. He goes, how about you pour it in my hand for a dime? The guy says, is that all you want? He goes, yeah. He goes, it'll be $1.10. He goes, you got change for 100?
I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker is a great movie.
So good. Eddie, it was good seeing you, man.
Yeah, man. Time. Thank you so much again.
You're welcome, man.
I had a really good time.
I was really hoping they would put up 5 on them, but we were. I mean, I'm telling you, man. I hadn't been in the Garden in a long time, obviously, but we had such a great time. It was when they scored, that place just blew up. It was so awesome. It took me 15 minutes to calm down. It was just so good. I was like, and I don't remember going to a Ranger Islander game at the Garden growing up, but if I did, it was I was very young, but it was great. We had a blast.
Yeah, it was, and that was the game that Ryan Lindgren got bloodied and no call.
Oh God, what a shit!
What a robbery!
And then they score in that crap fluttering puck that gets swatted out by Palmieri.
Yeah, I haven't seen that goal against the Rangers.
Oh man, I was so pissed. We were all pissed. My daughters, they were pissed. My daughter doesn't even acknowledge. She acknowledges that as a win. She's like, "Oh, the Rangers won 2-1 that game." She doesn't even acknowledge that as a loss. I'm so proud.
Joe, were you surprised by the vitriol that was going back between the Ranger fans and the Islander fans?
Well, it was interesting. I mean, I've seen bickering. It's Rangers Islanders, right? So all those guys had to do is catch wind that somebody was an Islander fan. The thing that surprised me was that it never stopped. Like as soon as the period resumed, they were right back on this girl. And the father's I was telling Jim, in the first period, the father's like, just don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. By the third period, that guy had no patience for those guys heckling. And he got on him, It was, I was a little embarrassed. I was like, how long is this going to go? 3 hours? These guys are heckling?
Yeah, well, they were drinking. And
yeah, I know.
I was in a weird way, I was proud of them because they were relentless, even though they were losing. They weren't playing. The Rangers weren't playing well.
Oh yeah,
and they kept it going. Why don't you go to play in your racetrack? You can play the ponies and watch the game, and your $1 billion complex, and nobody goes. And hit them with the $6 tickets line.
Man. I mean, they were giving it to them, man. They were funny. They were funny.
But I think with a woman, what do you guys think? Like, I would, if it was a girl, I'm not really going at it 100%.
Yeah, you give her a little dig, and then
you move on.
Maybe at the end of the period, you go up to them and you say hi, and that's it. Those guys were relentless the entire night.
What do you think, Jim? You give it to nobody? You don't care what?
Depends on how mouthy she is.
Yeah, she wasn't too mouthy. They were the ones that were mouthy.
If she's just sitting there in her Islander jersey and not really making a lot of noise and not really giving it back, then no, I'm not gonna pick on the defense. But if she's one of these loudmouth, two-fisted, fuck the bitches have garbage and let's go Islanders with the painted lips and the whole bit.
Yeah, I was gonna say the painted lips chick. Would you?
She's getting it. Oh, she.
Yeah, no, she wasn't doing that. In fact, Eddie, I don't even remember her wearing an Islanders jersey.
When they broke out the T-shirt cannons, I would have used her as a human shield if that's the case.
Oh, come on, Jim, you've crossed the line. You
By the way, Ron
up and
Greshner
slap
was
her
at
in
the
the
game
face.
Friday night. Ron Greshner
or Ron Greshner?
Ron. I couldn't get a picture of him, but he was on the screen.
Oh God!
And Gilles Vellemure was there, which was nice to see.
Wow!
I heard he's been in bad health.
Back in our day.
How about if it was Joy Rosen? We just slapped. But Sean wants to know if it was Joy Rosen.
You know what I picked up when I was at the Garden. I'm always at away games, right? So it was great being around a billion Rangers fans. And we went to what's that place up the block? Stouts.
Yes, Stouts.
Right? So we were there for a few hours on St. Patrick's Day. It was a blast, and it was just all Rangers fans. But what I kind of picked up on, it's pretty funny. You know the old guys walking around because the old guys like me are walking around with a Mike Richter jersey.
Yeah,
or someone's wearing a Graves or a Gartner. Almost everybody's wearing a modern player. It's pretty funny.
When I was down in Carolina, I saw a Walt Kachuk jersey.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
That was really
those
you're dealing with an old timer there.
Yeah, it's funny. We're just so used to. I mean. The modern players, like my favorite guy to watch is Lafreniere. I love him. And I hope he's a Ranger for 15 years. I mean, Kreider's Kreider, Zibanejad, Panarin. But I don't know. He's probably my favorite out of all the current guys to watch. I like Trouba a lot. I'm a big Trouba guy. I'm glad they got him. And I think it took a little time to get to his game, but this guy is he's human. He'll mess up, but boy, and he brings it. It's awesome.
Your thoughts on the Rangers acquisitions? What do you see so far?
Yeah, I going into it all, I really wanted them to get Kopp out of anybody. I thought that was what they needed. I like Mott. I watched some Vancouver games out west, especially when Edmonton plays Vancouver. He's a good, I was saying in the chat room earlier, these are the guys that the Rangers usually don't get. The guys they're just good hockey players. Goudreau is another one that, like, when they signed him, I was like, this is a good sign. This guy can play hockey, and he can play all over the place, up and down the lineup. And Kopp's the same way. He's probably better at center than a winger, and he probably prefers that if you would ask him that. But he could play everywhere, and I have no problem if they try to re-sign him and let Strome walk. And I'm sure he'd fit just fine with Panarin. And we got to see who they can put on the right side of them. But I really like the signings. Braun, seventh defenseman, sixth defenseman. I don't know how that's going to shake down, but he's a bit of a physical guy. Everybody's going to see him as this lumbering old nothing, but you need guys like that to be able to, that guy's got a lot of experience. So if we
couple guys go down, he's in your lineup. I mean,
right, exactly
what's happened.
Yeah, exactly. So I love it. And for what they gave up was nothing for rentals. I mean, even Vetrano, he plays here in Florida. I've seen him a lot. He kind of fell down. They're loaded Florida, so he kind of fell to the third and fourth lines, or he was just sitting. But again, he's got a new life, man. I mean, he can play too. He's got a good shot.
Does he shoot?
Got the perfect right wing for Kopp and Panarin if anybody's interested.
Yeah,
Vitaly Kravtsov.
Yeah, well, we'll see how that shakes down.
Traded.
You never know what happens with all that this summer.
Yeah.
By the way, I was just thinking about it. This is kind of the way things are going. If they continue to play the way they're playing, they got a shot at, like, isn't the 14-15 team have the most points, right? They had like 113 points or something. And they lost in the conference final, but I think right now they got 89 points on the season, and they got how many games left?
Jim's looking it up as we speak.
That's correct.
I think the 14-15 team has the record for most points in a season, which is even more than the 93-94 season.
The 14-15 team had 113 points.
Right.
11-12, they had 109.
Right.
The 94 team had 112.
Okay, so the 113 is their record for most points. And that included overtime and shootout and all that stuff, right? So they got a shot. They got how many points they got right now? 89?
89.
With
89.
16 remaining.
16 games to go.
Yeah, they could get there.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
So that's what
If they go from
if they go 12-4, they would tie it. Right? No, wait. 12, that would be 24.
That would be 24.
Points.
That'd be 113. Yeah.
That would be tie. Okay, yeah. So that
and looking at the schedule, I mean, really, honestly, they tend to play better against the teams that are within the division and tough outs. But they got a pretty good. I know that I was looking at their schedule last week, and they have more home games than road.
Yeah, they're going to be home a lot, which is good.
So
and the Detroit game, which is Wednesday night. That's the longest furthest road game they have the rest of the year.
Right. Yeah. They could do it. I mean, it's possible. There's no doubt.
Just the fact that we're talking about it is amazing.
I know.
It's amazing.
And amazing the fact that we're coming off a season that we missed the playoffs.
Yeah.
Right. So, which is pretty crazy. Yeah. I mean, this is a good team. Jim says to me sometimes, he'll be listening to NHL Network and stuff, especially during the trade deadline day. And he's like, look at them all praising the Rangers. Everybody's in on the Rangers. And, I think maybe they're a year or two away from real contention. I hope I'm wrong. This year would be awesome. I mean, look what Montreal did, right? They almost ran, and then they bowed out. But that would be amazing, at least to the conference finals, be able to feel that again. It's been a little while.
Yeah.
But
with cap space coming up, they're not like, next season they're going to have some wiggle room, which they never really have, and a good team.
Yeah, and I think a couple of the bigger contracts start kicking in, right? Kreider, I think, and Fox.
I don't think Kreider's getting paid all that much.
I don't remember what his contract was when he signed.
We got 2 more games against Pittsburgh, 2 more games against Carolina.
Yeah. Carolina is going to be the tough out in the conference. Yeah. I like Florida a lot. They're a really deep team. Carolina is just as deep as Florida.
2 more against the Islanders, 2 more against Boston, right? Did I see that right? 2 more against Boston or 1 more? 1 more against Boston. Another game against the Caps.
Yeah.
2 against Detroit. 1 against Ottawa, who's given them trouble this year. So
yeah, it's exciting. It's awesome.
So
it's been an enjoyable season. Like you guys were talking earlier, right? Like they've lost 3 games in a row once, and twice only a couple of times, right? So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, as much as we've kind of like bickered amongst ourselves all year, who should play it? Galantis picked the right guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I certainly was not happy with Dryden Hunt plan, but guess what? It works.
Yeah, I know a lot of people in the beginning of the season, especially the start they got off to it. People are questioning. They're talking about David Quinn. I'm like, listen, David Quinn was put in place for what he did. He did what he was done, right? He had a lot of young guys. He had a good track record with young guys. You knew his shelf life was only about 2 to 3 years. If it was longer than that, then our trajectory going up where it needed to be would probably be taking a little longer than we expected. So he got us to where we needed to be, and it was time to hand over the reins to a veteran coach. And Gallant's a veteran coach. He has a good track record.
And he's pushing the right buttons.
Yeah.
Every time I see a press conference, I'm not sitting there going, what is he talking about? Did he watch the same game I did? We had some good looks, blah, blah. He just says flat out, we didn't play good in the first period. We played good in the first period. We stunk in the second. We tried to get back in the third. We got lucky. And blah, blah, blah. And he lays it out. And this is my favorite thing he said all year. that he's looking to put a whole roster of guys. Now he's not concentrating just on the 4 forward lines of a whole roster that he wants to go to war with in the playoffs. He recognizes you need depth because one injury could just, So I really respect the guy. I don't know what I'm supposed to call him, Gallant, Don Rickles, but if he doesn't win coach the Jack Adams, I mean, I don't know. Who else you think is going to be in on the Jack Adams this year?
Yeah, I don't remember questioning any of his moves this year. I like the fact that he just, with the media, he doesn't deal with their foo-foo crap. He'll be like, no, that had nothing to do with my decision. Had nothing to do with it. It was you're trying to basically, you're trying to find something that's not there. He's like, I made a decision. It has nothing to do. People on Twitter and everything like that, they go crazy if Lafreniere gets dropped because it has nothing to do with him. He's a great player. He's going to be great. It had nothing to do with that.
What the coach said, it has nothing to do with him.
No, of course. But everybody wants to find something, right?
Right.
So
he's more comfortable on the left wing. That's what happens.
Right.
He looks great, and he's making Heater look better too.
I'm ready for the playoffs to start. We've been on cruise control. Most of the teams have actually. We've all been on. All these 8 teams have been in cruise control for like 3 months.
Yeah.
At one point, about a month and a half ago, Columbus went on a little spurt and they got within like 8 points of Washington, and then Washington said, "Oh, we better get going here," and they got going. Other than that, this 1 through 8. And every matchup in this conference is a tough out in the first round. Whether Toronto has to play Tampa, whether Toronto has to play Boston, whether Toronto has to play the Rangers, whatever the case may be. Pittsburgh, same thing. Half of these teams are very experienced playoff teams.
You're right. I'm almost at that point where I'm trying not to get aggravated over the games if they do lose or it's close, because I really just should be saving this energy for the playoffs. That's the way I'm looking at it.
The only thing we hope is that they don't go into the playoffs losing 5 straight, right? That's what you don't
want. That's what you don't want.
Right, exactly. Other than that, I'd love to play Pittsburgh 5 more times because it looks like we're going to wind up playing them.
Right.
We'll see tomorrow night.
I like the buildup of wars. I liked back in '94 when we went into the mausoleum and won that last regular season game that set up. And they said, "Yeah, we're done with this shit," and then they steamrolled.
Yeah, that game in March. I think that game was in March, and they hadn't won there in years or something like
in
that.
Fact, they're the ones in the mausoleum that killed our unbeaten streak. It was like 14, 15 games that season. We hadn't lost in like a month and a half.
Right.
And we went in on a Sunday afternoon, one of those mausoleum specials, and we stunk it up. It was like we Jekyll and Hyde it. We could not get beaten. All of a sudden, the Islanders beat us, and they were the 8th seed in that conference that year, right?
That might have been, for some reason it's sticking out in my mind. I could be wrong. I'd have to go see if I can find the box score. But I seem to remember that might have been one of those games where Keenan started Richter, pulled him, put Healy in, put Richter back in, put Healy back in. Like,
in fact, I think it was a Monday game. I think it was like a President's Day game or one of those Monday specials.
The day wake at the mausoleum.
Yeah, I remember sitting in a sports bar basically by myself, and I'm just sitting there going, I cannot believe they lost to these freaking tools.
And then we went on to a 4-game sweep.
Oh, sweet.
And a 22-3.
Yeah.
Ouch.
The Rangers gave us like a month to chill out in the playoffs by sweeping the Islanders and only losing 1 to the Capitals. It was like, this is great. Bring on the Devils.
Never happens.
Right. And then we lost 5 years off of our lives that we'll never get back.
Right.
Like I always say, Dennis Leary says, but that's the 5 worst years of your life. That's the diaper-wearing, kidney dialysis years. Because you can have those years.
Right.
Yeah. Fun times. Well, let's hope this season's another good run. That would be
I'm ready.
amazing.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Let's hope.
All right, boys.
All right, Joe.
I'll let you go.
Take care,
Thanks for
my
calling
friend.
him.
Yeah, man.
It's good to hear from you again.
Yeah, we'll see you.
Talk to you later. Bye. All right. Before we get to the other calls here, I'll show you this video real quick. Let me just hold on. I gotta this is another video that Jen took. And I just gotta share it here. Okay. So here's show and stream and solo. All right, here we go. So now it's 2-0. We're just barely sitting down again. And here they come again. Everybody up again. You hear Jen yelling, "Oh my God!"
All right, I got one question.
Sure.
When Kreider's coming down on that breakaway, as soon as he receives that pass from Zibanejad, are you saying there's no way he's going to put it in the net because of his lackluster finishes on breakaways?
No, I think if, unless that Jen took like tons of video and she got superstitious. So she didn't want to turn the video off. So she literally wound up with like a 5-minute video, just constant streaming. But she had to cut it down so that she could send it to me so that I could use it for the show. But I think you actually can hear me screaming, "Come on, Kreids! Come on, Kreids!" And then he scores the goal.
Right.
No, I have utmost, I mean,
right now he's magical.
He I don't know what he stepped in, man, but give it to everybody. Give a big pile of it to everybody.
A superstar.
It's just, the Garden. It's not quite what it used to be, but man, when they're winning and they score, and especially now, I mean, that crowd has transformed a little bit. It's not the suits aren't there anymore.
The pandemic got rid of the suits.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was funny because when they scored the first goal, if you watch Jen's video, there's a lot of empty seats. A lot of people missed that first goal, and a lot of them missed the first three. There's a lot of empty seats. By the time they scored the third goal, the place, I mean, it was packed. It was a sellout. They've had
18,000.
Mike Smith told me today they've had 4 straight sellouts.
Yeah, 18,000.
But man, when they score and they're winning and everybody's singing that song,
I want to speak about the song. If I was an opposing fan, I would think that is the stupidest thing ever. But when they do that, that just brings me joy. I'm instantly transported into some kind of bliss.
And let me tell you, there is nothing better. Joe will tell you, and I've seen the Rangers on the road in Arizona, and I've seen them on the road in Florida, and you watch them on TV. And when there's a big contingent of Ranger fans in whatever opposing arena it is, and you can hear the fans that are there singing the goal song in somebody else's arena, that's the best. That's the best. Because here we are now in your kitchen and we are eating your food, my friend. Right? We are bringing it all and we're doing it in your house. I mean, it's just the best. Right, I mean, it's enough to hear when what was it? Now I forget which game it was. One of the road games they had a couple weeks ago where you could hear the Igor chants from the Ranger
in
fans.
Tampa. The Tampa?
That's right. It was the Tampa game. And, I mean, you could hear the Igor chants. You could hear "Let's go Ranger." Oh yeah, Tampa fans were all kinds of pissed off about us, but about the Ranger fans being there. But fuck it, get your own fans to buy your tickets. Don't sell your tickets. Not my fault. Ranger fans, we travel well. We are everywhere. ShopRite. We're at ShopRite now. We're at Sam's Club. We're everywhere.
Yeah, so, I see a lot more Ranger gear out now. So,
yep. Oh, Joe.
They dust. Oh, Joe.
Oh, Joe.
They dusted off the gear.
Last night when they fell behind the Buffalo, and it was like a Crash Test Dummies song out of Sam. It was and he's got this new one that he's been doing. I don't know if you've heard this, but it's kind of like a
Really? I've heard that one.
Yeah, I've heard it a couple of times.
Why you didn't? You seem to be impressed that Tage Thompson was 6'7".
He's like Howard Stern in Private Parts, trying to give that woman the orgasm over the speaker.
Just a couple notes from last night's game.
Yes.
What was I gonna say? Shit, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, the usual suspects, ladies and gentlemen. The great, the ass plunger guy, 46 games between goals.
Ass plunger.
The last goal was against the Rangers. Jeff Skinner, please retire.
Skinner.
I was like, come on, it's the usual suspects. The guy who hasn't scored, Jeff Skinner, Kyle Okposo. I mean, come on. It never stops. I know they won the game, but I had to get that out because I was ranting about that.
You know what I loved in the overtime when Buffalo was totally just trying to play keep away, and the fans just got all over for it. I loved it. Play the game. Play the game. There ought to be like a clock, like a 20-second clock. Get the puck out of your zone, or we go or we go to a face-off where you just turn the puck over.
Also, Craig Anderson, who was like Methuselah, he's another Ranger killer too.
Not as much in recent years, though. As he's gotten into his late 60s, we've kind of figured him out a little bit. Oh, yeah. But, and that was the other thing last night. Nosferatu was in full mush mode. Oh, the Sabres don't have a shot on goal in the second period.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody's thinking the same thing. The first shot's going to go in. Oh, Nosferatu. Oh, no penalties yet in the game, Joe.
They
No
haven't scored a
They haven't scored on a power play since Sylvain Turgeon, Joe.
And then they scored, and then throwing the Rangers, and the Rangers haven't been penalty killing well, which has been a little bit of a dip in that, but I don't think it's anything of concerning. Yeah, it's I just wanted to go over that briefly, that whole
penalty killing will improve when Kevin Rooney's back, and Mott's a really good penalty killer. I'm not worried about the penalty killing.
And again, what was it?
We're keeping Eddie awake at this point.
No, I'm just saying, was there one penalty per team the whole game or something? I mean, what is this with these games?
Yes, both Sabres were 1-for-1 last night on the power play. Rangers were 0-for-1.
What, is everybody playing legal now? I don't get it.
There seemed to be very much a let them play mode last night.
Rangers good on face-offs last night. Did very well.
59%.
That's very well for the New York Rangers, Sam. They work hard. The Penguins work hard, Sam. That Evan Rodriguez, Sam.
Kopp was 67%. Barclay Goodrow, CPA, was 56%. Ryan Strome even got to the 50% mark.
Oh, please. Done. I told you, we squeezed every ounce of that trade. We got all our value. That's it. Send him to Ottawa.
Like I said, what's up, Chef?
Hey, Chef Ra.
That's all right. We'll get you on right. Well, next week we'll talk to you.
Yeah.
So,
great time to be a Ranger fan, Chef.
yes, it is.
All right, who's our next?
We have Costa Kana. I'll let you pick. Or do you want to tell your story at first?
Nah, we can pass on the story.
You sure?
Yeah, it doesn't have a really great ending.
All right, because I mean, okay.
Great beginning.
Whatever you want to do. Who do you want to talk to first? Who do you want to talk to?
Let's talk to Kana.
How'd you like a kick?
Hey, Kana, how are you?
What's up, Kana? Why, you motherfucker bum. What's up? Oh, hold on. There you go.
We good?
Yep.
You bleed, Eddie? No, but I'll just start off by getting the first bit off my chest, which is that I'm hearing from an anonymous source, or that Michelle Gingras heard from an anonymous source that Sergei Gonchar will not be playing for the Penguins this next game.
Could hurt their power play, Sergei.
He will. So taking his slot will be Jim's favorite, Marshmallow Boy Brian Boyle.
Oh, they were praising Boyle the other night on the telecast. Bill Lindsay loves Brian Boyle. What a story.
Sam, Brian Boyle is completely fabulous, I must say.
Oh, boy.
I will say this in Brian Boyle's defense. They showed a nice video on NHL Network today. A little kid who beat cancer, and he held up a sign by the glass, and Brian Boyle and Doug Smith went over and took pictures with the kid, and I think they gave him some stuff. So that was nice. Good on Brian Boyle. I
can't believe he's still in the league.
I don't question that he's a good guy. I just didn't like him as a hockey player, not one goddamn bit.
Well,
and I have a feeling I've expressed that on the show.
Kenny Albert says he's a saint.
Well, I mean, regardless of what work he does in the community, and I'm sure he does plenty of good stuff. It's Brian fucking Boyle, all right?
He was funny as hell in the 24/7 documentary.
Yeah. Wasn't he sharing a room with Delzato and was it Stepan? I forget who he was sharing a room with.
You seem to be more of a thinker than I am.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay. Well, we're going to see Brian Boyle tomorrow night.
Right.
Guess who's going to score? Get ready.
Hank's not in goal.
That's true. We do have that.
Oh,
Joe.
Oh, Joe.
All right. So what's your breakdowns? What's your bits? What do you got for us tonight?
Well, what can I say? I mean, there's not much to complain about. I mean, obviously, I wasn't huge on that game we dropped against the Devils, but I mean, considering that we just took out two top-tier teams, you can only expect so much. So, and that's been a tendency for the Rangers. We go on these hot, we win 2 or win 3. We drop 1, and then we come back and turn it around. I obviously wasn't happy about how we played against Buffalo yesterday, but then again, like you said, we had 2 Ranger killers get us, but at least we walked out with the W. So that's
they find a way. They find a way. This team.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say that. I mean, I think we went against Pittsburgh. Detroit worries me though, because Detroit we have had a hard time against this year, and I think that might bite us a little bit. But I mean, other than that, I mean, all the trades have worked out really well with Kopp and Vetrano and Mott and I just, and also that trade that happened today. I know everyone was really high on Ruunanen, Tarmu, but
he's the future. He's the future, Sam.
Yeah, but it actually makes sense that we traded him for a center prospect. During we traded Morgan Barron away to get Kopp, and we got to replenish that center depth, considering the fact that we don't know talk about the future. We don't exactly know what the future holds at the center position, aside from Mika Zibanejad long term.
Right. This was an AHL move. Listen, Tomo Ruunanen, thanks for your service, but he's going to be. He's not a talent. They got 2 talented defensemen down there in Lundqvist and Zach Jones. Those are the future. What do we got? Robertson, Jason Robertson,
Matt Robertson, and
Jason Robertson. That's the guy on the
Jason Robards.
Jason Robards. We got a lot of guys that. Those guys are the future. Matt Robinson, the backup quarterback to Richard Todd. Is that who you're talking about? Robertson. Okay. We got Robertson. There's a log jam at defense. So I'm not losing any sleep over this.
Still got Hunter Skinner in the pipeline too.
Yes.
There's a lot of defensemen.
Well, it goes to show you, considering how many straight years have we been drafting defenseman after defenseman after defenseman.
Yes.
Plus, they have this guy Brandon Scanlon that they just signed.
Okay.
Gave him a pretty good. Brandon Scanlon, I think. Is
Brandon? What's that? Bradens and Brandons and
Brandon Scanlon. Signed University of Nebraska.
Oh, not one of these college guys.
I
don't know. They seem to not have like a great track record with these guys. Barron was a college guy.
College guys work.
Adam Fox was a college guy that worked out pretty well.
He was drafted by Calgary.
I mean, Jimmy Vesey was a college guy. He worked out for us for 2 years, and then he fell apart. But
Yeah, but he was another guy. I mean, I agree. Vesey wasn't that bad. Everybody hated him. I don't know why everybody hated him. Hugh Jessamine, another college guy.
People hated Vesey because he was so hyped up because he was a Hobby Baker Award winner, and everyone thought that he was going to be.
Yeah, he won the Hobby Lobby Baker Award.
There you go.
Scanlon's a big dude.
Don't hit. You gotta. What's?
Hey, look, you gotta be creative.
What position? What's his measurements? Give it to me.
6'4", 215 pounds. He's from Hamilton, Ontario.
All right, I like it already.
Right. Scored appeared in 24 games as a sophomore at Nebraska Omaha. Scored 17 points. He was named NCHC All-Star Team Honorable Mention. He registered. Wait, here comes it. Registered a season high 3 shots on goal on March 13th against Denver.
All right, I don't like this guy.
Honestly, he fits.
He scored his first NCAA goal on Halloween 2019 against the Alaska Anchorage. Named NCAA All-Rookie Team. Playoff MVP, Eddie.
Sean McCann says Omaha, Nebraska, Hockeytown, USA.
Honestly, that sounds like a perfect fit considering God knows how many times the Rangers go for the biggest guy.
Hey, Cameron Fitzgerald Talbot came from the University of Huntsville, Alabama. Talent is where you find it, my friend.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah, Cutter says Hamilton is a shit heap. It's not the thriving metropolis that Kitchener is.
Someone should ask Cutter if he would crawl out of his basement to go to Hamilton.
I don't know.
If it wasn't for the stubborn commissioner, Hamilton would have had an NHL team while the Kitchener Rangers have been in that town for 50 years.
Yeah,
Mike Nicoluk was playing there.
Mike Nicoluk. All I see from Cutter now, he keeps posting these videos about Team Canada soccer. Who cares? Right. Oh, they beat Jamaica. You better beat Jamaica. I mean, come on. Would they play a Carnival Cruise Line? The team made of a Carnival Cruise? Come on. Anyway. So, all right. So we got that. We got this. Jim wants to remind everybody of the viewing party.
Right. I just put it up here to just, gentle reminder. Oh. It's coming. It's only, 3 weeks from Saturday? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, it's about 3 weeks.
3 weeks from Saturday. It's going to be big. And I am here to tell you that Eddie and I have discussed it. We will have for our raffle, we are going to have the biggest prize we've ever given away.
Oh, you're giving away the Cutter cutout?
No. Will the cutter cutout be there,
Oh,
Eddie?
What?
Will the cutter cutout be in attendance at the
Well,
viewing
my
party?
wife did ask me, should we go for another different cutout?
That's fine too.
okay.
It was a big hit, so I think
Was
that's
it?
got to become that's almost got to be a staple.
Okay.
I mean, I'm kind of.
Well, I still have it in the trunk of my car.
I'm kind of surprised Costa didn't tear it apart, but
Costa really didn't want a part of it at all, actually.
yeah, no,
He was a reluctant participant.
Chris Johnner did unspeakable things to it.
And the Canada
like
Cup.
be it Port Authority unspeakable.
The raffle prize, the main raffle prize, the big raffle prize will be as the old man says in A Christmas Story, a major award. It's going to be
the
big
time award. And
somebody is going home with a big time gift.
And I'm not joshing your galoshes.
Right. We don't do that here.
And I see apparently the World Cup is a big thing in Canada.
Whoopee. So is curling.
Wow. I'm going to get a lot of flack from our boys up in Canada. You might get a slap at the next viewing party.
I can't take a country seriously that has money called a loony.
Well, I think it's got a sense of humor. I like that in the country. We could have a Micheletti cutout.
God.
Oh, that's perfect.
How about a Sam cutout?
Anything else?
No. Other than 3 weeks from now, I will see the both of you again.
All right. We'll talk to you later.
Thank you, Cutter.
Bye.
I appreciate that.
A day with Eddie would be a great prize. Well, you should come to the viewing party.
Yeah. I'll spend. And there he is, my loyal friend.
Howdy ho. I'm sorry. I ditched the show.
You were smarter than I was.
Hey, you made $15. Who gives a shit?
Yeah. Oh boy, let me tell you,
Joe.
Switch
Joe.
more ways. That goes a long way. Let me tell you. You should have hung around for my speech that I did before we went on, which was classic.
Eddie,
You gotta be fucking kidding me! This promoter is the worst piece of shit.
You just tore him new asshole.
Oh, I wish they would have had the tape rolling, but that's for
well,
another
you won't be going there no more.
You got that right. And did you see on the Facebook page, people said they also got screwed there? A couple other bands.
Yeah, one band, like the whole band got COVID.
Yeah. They were lucky. One band we were playing with all got COVID, and they only had one guy.
And he did an unplugged set.
Yeah, he should have.
He was good. He was good.
He was good. He was
I thought
talented.
that was good. He was good.
But dude, just cut your losses. Don't even play. Don't even play in that idiot box. Come on and play in that slot. Get out of here, you fucking moron.
And that other fucking the chick and the guy.
They're brother and sister, believe it or not.
Oh God! Oh my God! Jesus fucking!
I will say right now, if Jim and Jen put a band together, it would be better than them. I'm not saying anything. You guys might be musically talented. I don't know. I think Costa and Cutter. You can tell that band.
Costa, Cutter, and Kana, the KKK. KKK band.
Oh, come on, wait a minute. First of all, they CCK.
Yeah, I know, but that doesn't sound that's not as funny.
Anyways,
all right.
Anyways, on to the Rangers. Do you see a lot of parallels from this team to the team that came out of the canceled season? That team came out of nowhere too. Let's be honest. Even though they ran out of gas at the end of the season, they basically ran out of gas. But they came out of nowhere. They were like in first place for like how many weeks?
Jim, do you recall this?
Yeah, I mean that was a good team for for a good portion of the season, and then
They ran out of gas.
well, yeah. I guess you could say they ran out of gas.
I mean, that was what's his name? That was Hank's coming out party, man.
Who was that under? Nielsen or
No,
Rennie?
that was no fuck. That was Tom Rennie.
Tom Rennie. Okay. Rennie's Robots. That's all I remember.
You talk about the 05 team after the lockout?
Yes.
Well, Yager also got hurt in the playoffs, didn't he? That year? Wasn't that the year? He
I
hurt
don't,
his
I don't
shoulder?
know. I don't remember.
He tried
I
to
would
throw
say
a
this
check
team is
at
better.
center ice and wound up hurting his shoulder, and he was never the same.
Right.
I think the Rangers have the components now to they could go deep. I think
I'll be happy with one round. I'll be ecstatic with one round. After that, it's gravy at that point.
well
That is pedestrian thinking. I don't want
no, but if you
I want it all.
I know, Jim. I know you're going to take it to the next level. But I think at the beginning of the season, if we would have said 1 round, 2 rounds, that's probably what we thought. But now that we're here, I got to go with Jim on this. I mean, I'll be happy. I'll be happy with 2 rounds, but they get to the conference finals, I'll be ecstatic. And if they go to the cup, I'll be over the moon.
Expectations change.
Well, they all
You know who said that? You know who said that?
John Totoro.
Mandar said that.
Oh,
Expectations change.
That looks like heavy set Goose Gossage now. Expectations change. Well, he was a wise man. When I said was, like he's in the past tense.
Right.
I think he's been on the show sooner than Leslie Treff has.
He was on our last Blog Talk show.
That's right. Yeah,
That's
The last
time we spoke
one.
to him.
The last one, right?
I think our 10th anniversary show. I believe he called in.
yes.
Which was the last one.
That
we
was
did.
it. That was the last. That's almost 3 years ago already, because we are approaching our 13th anniversary.
I never thought we would get this far.
The fact that you guys now get recognized, there you go. Who would have thunk?
Right.
Yeah. But as Costa would say, what's it doing for me?
I'm going to talk about the Carolina game again. I mean, I can't get enough of that fucking game. I can't get enough of that game. The fans took over that game too, right? Whatever
Yeah.
Ranger fans were there.
A lot of Ranger fans. 50-50.
Yeah.
Yeah. The fans were out there too.
Even though it was a snooze list for like 2 periods, right?
Oh my God. It was the worst game I've ever witnessed. And they won.
You mean the worst? Would you say the worst win you've ever seen?
Yeah. Yeah, it's the worst win I've ever seen. Never seen a team get dominated like that. Because I
It's
had
called rope-a-dope, man. It's called rope-a-dope.
I know, it was rope-a-dope.
Rope-a-dope.
just shooting from everywhere.
Carolina's blowing out the Capitals tonight, by the way.
What's the score?
5-1, end of the second.
Wow.
Derek Stepan with his 8th goal of the season.
Come on. Hang it up, Derek.
Yeah, yeah.
The Bald Avenger strikes
Bald-
again.
That's the only thing I think Carolina has against them is they have a lot of ex-Rangers.
Right.
Although Tony
How
D
they get all our ex-players and they're this good when they weren't? We couldn't be this good when we had all our ex-players.
we have well, our guys were starters. Now that they're role players, our guys they're much better in the role playing position.
I would have to agree with that, kind sir.
Yes. But any quick thoughts to wrap this up on your New York Rangers? What do you think's going to happen Pittsburgh tomorrow night? You think it's going to be a much tougher game?
I think with Gina there, probably.
Okay. I still think Pittsburgh's goaltending sucks.
Yeah.
It's the weak link.
Let me ask you this question: That team has always had bad goaltending outside of Fleury.
Well, Tom Barrasso was pretty good, but you go ahead.
Barrasso, come on.
All right.
Barrasso, that team would win games 6-5.
All right. Okay. Joe, they work hard, though. All right. Okay. So they always had bad goaltending. So,
but they scored a shit ton of goals. That's the thing. They were the offensive juggernaut. And that's how they had them. If it was a low scoring game, forget about it.
okay.
Outside of Fleury, they had their goaltending mediocre at best.
They're putting up a lot of points this season.
Yeah, because why? Because they're an offensive juggernaut still.
Well, I'm not here to defend the Penguins. I wish they don't die. I wish they would die at a plane crash. But
yeah, we'll see what happens when their two golden boys are retired. We'll see what happens then.
Yeah, what's Crosby, like 36 now or something?
Yeah, something like that.
34.
34. He's getting up there.
And Malkin's like what, 37, 38?
So I don't know how old he is. Well, just expect the Teddy Blugers and the Evan Rodriguez.
And when they start losing, they'll all crawl back into the woodwork like good boys and girls.
Even Letang is pretty old now. Yeah. So
have you to close this out? Have you guys read my two posts on? I think they were on the Patreon page.
No, I haven't. Were they lucid?
There was one from the Atlantic on everyone's favorite team, the Arizona Coyotes.
Oh God!
And then there was one about the Golden Showers.
Okay.
I mean, I'm telling you.
Why don't you just tell us what they're all about now?
Basically, it's the Coyotes. Like, they're an embarrassment. They're a freaking embarrassment to the league. I mean,
newsflash: the Coyotes are an embarrassment.
Yeah.
Dateline.
I'm going to tell you something. What are they going to do when? I mean, they're trying to get
all news all the time.
The Arizona Coyotes are an embarrassment.
I'm telling you right now.
I'm Roger Grimsby. Here now, the news.
Anyways, I'm telling you, man, if they don't get that arena in fucking Tempe and they tell them to go fuck themselves, they're in trouble. I keep saying, I don't understand why they don't take the arena in Phoenix, do what they did with the Key in Seattle, refurbish it to make hockey. Guarantee you, the fans will come back. Guaranteed.
Now, what about Vegas? What's your point?
Yeah, Vegas is they saying, well, they rigged the fucking draft so they can be, and now they're gaming the rules and shit,
Oh, they got that trade that was turned down by the NHL because they don't have enough cap room to bring back.
No. You know what it was?
What was it? Put on the news thing again, Jim. Hold on, wait for your cue.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Wins.
Okay.
What happened was, what's funny Russian name guy?
Dadanov or Dadanov.
He didn't. I mean, he had like a no trade clause. He didn't say, okay, these are the teams I can't be traded to. These are the teams I can be traded to. They didn't ask for that.
Oh, okay. Before
it had to be nixed.
They nixed the trade, and now they can't bring back Mark Stone and some other dude because they're over the cap or some shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And they've lost Robin Lehner for the season probably. They got goaltending problems. Now let me ask you this. I'll end Jim's misery by ending this question with you. Now, your longtime stance has been once the Vegas Knights start losing, or the Golden Showers, as you call them,
yep,
that the fans will start disappearing from the stands.
It's like with it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's them, or if it's Florida, or if it's Tampa, or if it's fucking Carolina. When they start losing, they'll crawl back into the woodwork. Only teams like Philadelphia, they'll always stick around the Philly fans, the Flyer fans. As much as we hate the Flyers, those fans will stick around. You know, same with the Caps fans. The Caps fans are going to stick around. You know.
What about Ranger fans? And the attendance was low last year. I would say it was lower last year.
Why do you think?
Because of the fakakta rules with the
fucking pandemic,
the COVIDia.
I think the COVIDitis. You know. I think now, like you meant, like I think Jim mentioned, that a lot of the suits are not coming anymore.
Good riddance.
You know why? You know why?
The
They're all working
Illuminati.
from home now.
Oh, I thought they were part of the Illuminati.
No, they're all working from home now.
Good riddance.
And happy to be
garbage.
here. and happy to be here.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
All right, that's all I got, kind sirs.
All right. Well,
until next time.
Yes.
We got a show Friday or Saturday. Got a show
Saturday.
All right, I'll be there. That I ain't going home for.
That's gonna be a hot gig, baby. To maybe 3 people there. No, we'll have a good turnout for that one.
All right, later, guys.
Okay. Yeah. This song's just as good. Somebody say, what is that polka music they're playing?
That's that Dixieland jazz they're playing.
Yeah, Dixieland jazz. Well, let's hope we didn't curse the Rangers too much by praising them, but I think there's no cursing them.
You know what song I like, and I don't know if it's a real song or if it's just a song that they came up with just to play at the Garden. I like the song they play when they win, and then like you're waiting for the 3 stars to come out.
Stars, yes.
It's just kind of like a. It's just like the same beat over and over again, and I don't know if that's a real song or if that's just something they came up with to play while they bring out the 3 stars.
Me and my wife have been.
I like hearing it because it means they won.
Right. They've been playing a song around that time, so maybe the same song that me and my wife have been trying to listen to find out what it is. And they do have a playlist on the Ranger site. I think we found what it is, but
oh, really?
Yeah, we'll talk about it the next show, or I'll send you a link. So,
I didn't.
It's funny that you guys picked it up and we picked it up too. We were like, oh yeah, that's a cool song.
It's catchy, and like I said, I like hearing it because it means they won, and it means the 3 stars are coming out, and
I mean, I don't want to get too into I know the show's ending here. How did Risto Ristolainen?
9:00.
I know. How did Risto Ristolainen get the 3rd star in that game last night? You really? And that's how I want to end up. It should have been 3 Rangers. Give it a break.
How come the opposing players never come out for the 3 stars? I'd like to see just once. I'd respect the guy. I mean, I wouldn't care. I mean, maybe not if it was an Islander or a Devil or a Flyer, but just like a Buffalo Sabre comes out on the actual wave.
Imagine what the coach
a couple of pucks and gets the hell out of there.
Imagine what the coach. You went out there and waved to that crowd we just fucking lost.
I mean, would you have respect for a guy even if you didn't like the team?
I don't know if to believe Coast on this. Vita La Voca. La Vida Loca?
Uh-huh. Whoa, I can't sing that song, but when they'd line up to salute the fans, they'd play that Coldplay song. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
That I know that song.
He's right. I can't sing it, but that was good. Yeah, it was a good song.
All right. I think we're done, man. We did.
I got to find out what that other song is, though.
So we did 2 hours of uninterrupted
commercial free.
Hey, listen, before I go here, Matt Morello, Hey, get down to Lindenhurst. Break bread with me and watch Idiot Box Live. We'll break the cherry. I need all hands on deck. And that goes for you, Nick DeCristo. Break your Idiot Box cherry. I know you live in the Outer Banks of Long Island out there, out in Quag. But get down. What's Lou Guerrero saying? Throw his face on the big screen for 1 second and take it down and boo the crap out.
I think he's talking about if an opposing player came.
Oh, yeah. That would be cool.
Yes, honey,
yeah,
I played the video. I played both your videos. I played all 3 of your videos.
One issue. Matt Morello, I can't go out at past 11 p.m. Oh, Z-Man wanted to talk about a gathering. Oh, you got it, Lou. Swindlehurst. Swindlehurst. Oh, so it's the Duke college basketball on Saturday. What do they got? They're playing a midnight game.
That was another thing. I don't know if you saw the video, but St. Peter's from Jersey City won their game Friday night, which put them in the Elite Eight. And I know I don't follow college.
I follow a little bit.
But it's nice to see the team from Jersey City that was right next to my grandmother's house. So it was, and the Garden went crazy. They showed the last couple of seconds of the game on the big screen, and there was just like this wave of people yelling. I mean, the place went bonkers. It was pretty cool.
Okay, and Z-Man wants to see if we can get together and go to the couple of days before the viewing party. The Rangers play the Islanders. Me and him were kind of discussing maybe putting together an invasion of some sort.
Oh.
So if anybody's interested, catch me on Facebook. Catch me outside. Or Jim, I don't know if you want. You're probably going to be just coming in for the day. I don't think.
When is that game?
Let's look at it. Look at the schedule. I don't have it in front of me. Man,
I can look it up.
You know how me with dates. I mean,
let's see. That's going to be April 21st. That's a Friday night, a Thursday night. That would be
hard for you.
Because then, first of all, I got to work Friday, and then we're back in the city on Saturday. So, yeah, and I don't know Jen's schedule, so it'd be extremely difficult.
Okay. Well, we got Matt and the Z-Man, and anybody who else wants to get in on this, message me on the Facebook or leave something on the Facebook page. Matt's messaging me. I'll have to look at that later. I'm sorry, Matt. Oh, he's on the Belmont plan. All right, so we'll see.
Let me see. I can tell you how much tickets right now are $110 for that game on the hub.
On the hub, $110
on the Stub Hubber.
Where's that? What sections?
Middle corner 226.
That's not that bad. So we'll talk about it because
you're up in the boonies.
Oh boy.
Upper corner 325. Those are going for 115 a piece.
Because Matty Z's coming in from Ohio. But we got to find out how Duke's doing, Matt, because I don't want that to interfere with the
Well, that'll be over. Oh, you mean this week? Well,
no, I'm being sarcastic. That Duke will still be on a run, even though we could say we're going to play it by ear. Right now, I'm leaning towards no, but if we get a lot of people, I can't resist. I mean, nothing against you and Matt. I like you both, but I don't like to exhaust all my energy right before a viewing party. It's going to be epic with an epic giveaway.
Right.
All right. We've talked about all we could talk about. We've done 2 hours and 10 minutes of.
We've said it all.
We've said. I've seen it. I've said it all. No, I've said it all.
Thank you, everybody, for being here. We love you guys. Don't forget to sign up, www.patreon.com/Blueshirt Underground Show, and you can keep us on the air forever, as Eddie likes to say.
Yes.
And we'll put you in our special Patreon group on Facebook. We do live game recaps and all kinds of fun stuff. And we will see you April 23rd at McHale's in New York City. Rangers taking on the Bruins. Can't wait. Our second viewing party. No vaccination necessary. You can come and cough all over us. You can lick the handrails if you want.
They don't care.
It's over.
Thank you, Gunhead. Thank you, Lou Guerrero. Chef, we love you. Sean giving us the inside scoop on how to cheat the Islanders. I like it. Paul Sliker. Love you all. You fucking rock, all of you. Good night.
Eddie, always a pleasure. Good night, everybody.
Same here.